Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show. This is a show where we talk about stuff, play you some music, and encourage you to be creative. This season, we are exploring the art of being human. We want to say thank you to our patrons who support us each month. If you want to know more about that, visit us on patreon.com/Chasing Ebenezer. For more information about our musical endeavors, visit chasingebenezer.com. We hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show. This is just a chortle fest.
Yep, I'm Benjamin and this is Heidi. And we're continuing our journey of what it means to be human.
Yes, we are indeed. Thanks to our patrons. That's some of you. Thank you for helping us do stuff. We are going to talk about beauty today.
Yep.
And how that wasn't so beautiful, but first, we're going to tell you what we're excited about. And it's your turn to go first.
It's my turn to go first? Awesome.
I'll let you go first.
You're going to let me go
I'll
first.
allow it.
All right. I am excited because in February, I know.
February. Why are we talking about February?
Our good friends, also patrons, David and Sarah Cooney, we're going to Seattle with them to see Mr. David Wilcox in concert.
February.
So I am excited about that. David Wilcox is a great folk singer and a good storyteller. So all things I really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I'm getting some paintings done. And I would love for you to buy some. Like, we had to install a whole new central air system because we didn't want to fry. So that's upped our monthly expenses just a little bit. So I would love to sell some paintings.
People don't tell you that when you become a homeowner, what that means is that you spend more money than you ever intended to in life. It's true. But I'm grateful to have a home. So.
As am I. So anyway, I'm glad to get some paintings done and follow my Instagram feed. Heidi Best Sadler. Maybe I should change it to Gabriel or Turtlefest Sadler.
I like yours.
Okay.
It's good. You don't need to change it.
So anyway, and I post a lot of them there. So yeah, I'd love to have some art for your house. And you know, I was like doing something while you were setting this
things up. Yeah.
So I almost always have paint on my fingers as well. Anyway.
Good.
Okay, human.
Human. How am I feeling my humanity? Do I still feel human?
Mostly.
Well, okay. So here's one. Going back to my COVID isolation days, which is still very recent. I learned that there's a big difference between isolation and silence and solitude. Okay? Because I was in isolation for a few days and my brain was going nuts. But like probably around 2 days ago, I started getting back into my practice of spending 20 minutes in like silent prayer, like just being present.
Like intentional.
Set my timer. I'm going to be quiet and close my eyes for 20 minutes. Big difference. Isolation does not do good things for your mental health. That does. So that helped.
Have we talked about? We should.
I know we've talked.
Have we talked about this? Have we done an episode about this? I'm sure. Silence. We have. Yeah.
Yes.
So go way back to the near the beginning of season 3, which we've been doing season 3 for like forever.
For a long time, but we're not going to make an announcement today, but we do know what season 4 is.
So we're going to be wrapping up season 3 by the probably fall sometime.
Hopefully,
and then we're going to try to be
a little bit more consistent. You know, a lot of life has happened in this season. I have to say.
A lot of life has happened during this season.
A lot of life.
We're just
Yeah.
We feel like we will continue to learn how to be human, but we're gonna slightly have a new topic for next year.
What about your humanity?
I forgot what it was. I had something.
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence while I try to remember what it was. I don't remember.
Well, we can always come
Being
back.
forgetful, sure, why not?
Yeah, there we go.
Sure, why not? That's
that was
my
an
humanity.
easy one. Easy one.
Oh, here's one. I was thinking, like, I'm so easily addicted to things.
Right.
Like, you know, okay, because I haven't been tracking Weight Watchers for, a couple months, I think.
Okay.
And it's just so tempting, though. Like, sugar. So tempting. Not going to bed and staying up and watching television. Listening to, like, episode after episode of podcasts I like. So, I'm just learning it's so easy to be addicted to things.
It's true. It's true.
So, yeah, it's just part of human nature. Like, I get on kicks.
Oh, yes. There may or may not have been a carton of, double stuffed Oreos that did not last a week in the house. And it's been a while since I've done that, but...
Did I have any?
I'm sure
I
you
think
had
I had
some.
one. I think I had one.
I'm pretty sure I
had one.
I am positive that I am the guilty party that demolished those.
Yeah, I'm confident.
We don't keep that in our house for that
because
very
of that
reason.
very reason. Exactly. That's why sugar to me is just like, yeah. So anyway, it's good. It's good because it's easy for me to be judgmental of people who are addicted to things that I am not. So it's good to remember that, hey.
There's always Cheez-Its.
There's always...
There's always Cheez-Its.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you lose your train of thought again?
Well, I didn't lose it, but
It escaped you? It ran away
I was
from
going to
you?
quote your song, which is going to be on the new album, by the way.
Yep.
It's on the list. Your line, Monsters... All we are one and the same.
Yeah.
That's about addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
That's a fun song to play live.
It is a fun song to play live, too.
All right.
Okay, next.
So,
moving along. Beauty will save the world.
Dostoevsky. I got it. I got you.
So, the first question I would like to ask is, what do you think when you think about beauty? And I'll let you think about it while I have some props.
Okay.
Because you may or may not know that I was in a beauty pageant. This would be my talent competition outfit that my mother made. Look at that.
She made that?
Yes, she made
I'm
that.
impressed.
My mother was an amazing seamstress.
What was the theme? I can't tell.
Subtle. We're a subtle family. You know what, Sadler? There's no hook on your closet door. Look at that. Look, now I have to just throw it on the floor. Look at that. Look at that. And then this was my, what do you call it? What do you call my ball gown? My formal? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. What? I didn't.
Were you not in a beauty pageant?
No.
Well, my mother also sewed this. Look at this.
It looks really good.
Look at this. Look,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Anyway, I was in the Miss American preteen pageant. Didn't win. Didn't even place, and I planned on it.
You planned to place or you planned on not placing?
I planned to win. And so I could not understand how I did not even place because I was amazing. And look at how well I was dressed. Are you kidding me?
Can I ask what your talent was?
Yeah, I sang and danced.
What did you sing?
I sang a patriotic song. Obviously, and...
There is video of this, right?
Yeah, somewhere. And Anyway, almost, broke your microphone. No, didn't break it, just dropped it almost. Okay. And I think I've shared this before. I gave a compelling speech about my favorite American, who happened to be Sandra Day O'Connor, because my dad wrote me the speech. So anyway, though, but she became my favorite American. I mean, this speech, people were like,
They were standing, wiping tears from their eyes.
So anyway, often beauty, I think of beauty pageant. So, okay, so what do you think of when you think of beauty?
Am I hot or not.com? I'm kidding. Because I was thinking about, like, what's the male equivalent of that?
I have no idea. I don't know.
This was, I don't even think this is a thing anymore, but my freshman year of college, I didn't put myself on this page because I honestly didn't want to know. But I had other people who did.
Who put you on the page?
No, who put themselves on the page.
on the page. Oh, okay.
And I thought, oh, well, those girls don't really have good taste then. But like, it was like you would put yourself on the college webpage and people would rate them as to how they were attractive or not. That's very much not the same thing as what you, the pomp and circumstance with which you
live.
When I think of beauty, other than you, obviously, I would have voted for you. But my first memory of beauty, I have to say, is probably the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, because I remember, like, when we lived in Richmond, you couldn't really see them from there. Like, here, you see mountains everywhere. You just walk outside, you can just see. But you'd be driving and there'd be a certain point where you'd just see these like blue outlines off in the distance. And there was like this sense of, for me, it was like this sense of anticipation of like, oh, wow, we're going somewhere bigger and more like amazing than where I live.
It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm listening. Oh, oh no. I've
Uh-huh. You going to give me a speech?
She was born in Arizona. Her family was so poor. That's how it started.
I'm impressed that you remember that. I don't even remember like sermons I
because
gave
I
like
had
2
to
weeks
memorize
ago.
it. Okay, it was like she was so poor. She was born in Arizona. Her family was so poor. I feel like it had something to do with not water. But Sandy worked hard. That was the ticker. My dad had me call her Sandy.
I was going to say, when did you get to that stage of
So
familiarity?
then, okay, I know. And then I talked all about it. I don't remember the middle content. And then I ended the speech by saying, my dad says I should be a lawyer because sometimes I like to argue. But I would rather be like my favorite American, Sandra Day O'Connor, because she's the judge. How did I not win? Come on, people. How could I not have gone on to achieve beauty pageant history with that kind of performance?
I agree.
Don't you think? Wasn't that good? Wasn't that very clever? Because be a lawyer. Because I like to argue. But Sandra's my favorite American. Because she's the judge.
You know,
how could you not love me?
Well, that question goes without saying.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I derailed everything now.
Yes, you did, but that's okay. You got to relive a moment, and that was beautiful.
You said, am I going to give you a speech? And I was just like, oh, I remember part of
Locked
that
and loaded. So I've heard this said somewhere, and I think it's true. As we've been talking about like what it means to be human, I think the ability to appreciate beauty and to be stopped by it is something that makes us unique. So what is beauty? How do you define it?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
But I think that growing up, it can be like who's physically attractive. That's kind of like from the get-go.
Yeah.
But really, it's kind of, for me, I'm learning more. It's where there is light and goodness and not perfection.
Beauty isn't perfection.
Because I think that's so hard. And did I just see Barbie? Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. With that idea, it was reinforced. But, yeah, I think that as the older we grow, we see that beauty is not about perfection or about necessarily what we can see with our eyes. So,
well, I think about that in terms of music that I tend to like the most. Because if you don't, because if you don't record music or you're not in that background, there's a lot of stuff that gets done to music after it's been recorded to make it appear flawless.
To some genres.
In some genres, not all, all. But what I love about like folk music, what I love about
indie music,
a lot of indie music is that there is a level of imperfection in it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But it's beautiful. And I don't know what it is about that. Like, okay, Bob Dylan. Let's just talk about Bob Dylan for a minute, okay? Hi, Bob. Bob Dylan he's unique. He is not a pop singer. I think that's a fair statement. But there's something about his songs that have captivated generations.
It's real. It's honest. It's full of all these things.
And there's something about even just the way his voice sounds that adds to the entire ambience of the song.
Right.
Yeah, because he just released a new album, and while we were in Bend, I just put it on. And he's getting to that stage, because he's in his 80s now.
Yeah.
But like he's getting to that Johnny Cash crackly voice. Like, because my favorite thing about a vinyl is that when a vinyl gets old, it crackles. He's getting to that stage with his voice. So when he's singing these songs, I'm like, oh man, this guy's seen some stuff, And so it's beautiful.
Yeah. So I think that's a great question that we all as people need to kind of really think about. What is beauty? And sometimes we're not correct. And sometimes is there even an answer to that? Because what's beautiful to one person might not be beautiful to another person.
So that whole idea of beauty is in the eye of the beholder, that famous statement.
Yeah. And that's why I should have won the beauty pageant.
So if beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? That phrase.
Who said that?
I don't know who said it. Somebody did. We didn't come up with that phrase. I promise.
Let us know.
But what is it? What's going on inside of you emotionally affect how you see things?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. So what is something that because you were in a bad mood, you thought you didn't like it, you didn't think it was beautiful, but then when you were in a better mood, you're like, oh,
The Book of Eli, man.
Yes, I remember this.
I think it was like we rented it. That was back in the day when you like went to a video store, I think, and rented movies. Days. I know. And after like a few minutes or 10, 20 minutes, I was like, nope, not happening. This is just
so violent. And I'm like, and?
So then I think the next morning I tried it, right? We tried it again.
Maybe.
Or whatever the next time. And I was like, oh my word, this is awesome. Still violent. Yeah, so we're not condoning violence here. But that movie, so I think just the mood I was in, I was just not feeling it. So here's what I'll say that I notice as well. And I don't know why this is, but sometimes if everybody thinks something is awesome or is interested in it, I'm like, nope, I'm not even going to try it. It's like that rebellious part of me. But here's what I'll say though. But then I can also have the opposite where I didn't enjoy something, and then all these people are talking about how great it was, and then I'll start to think maybe I was wrong,
So
and then
you're
I'll
talked
go.
into liking it.
I can be or both.
So
And
you
so
can
I
be
don't.
talked out. So basically, peer groups, either people you like or people you don't like, or whatever.
Or that maybe I have respected their opinion about things.
Right. So then all of a sudden, because they like it, you start. I've done that with
You
so
know,
many
I'm
things.
just being honest here. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
That I can be easily.
So so beauty can be our standard of beauty can be influenced by what's going on internally. It can be influenced by our peer groups. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
So,
What is something that you know that you like uniquely just because you liked it and you found it beautiful and inspiring? Can you think of something that didn't have an outside influence?
Well, I still Singing in the Rain. I just adore. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And
Yeah, you haven't influenced me to like that yet.
go ahead. Why don't you say some things, and then I'll try to think of some other things.
Well, because like when I listen to music on my Spotify, I'm thinking, how much of this did I start liking because another artist who I like likes it, or because I was told this is good music.
Right. Yeah.
So I was thinking about this. Okay, I remember "Crash Into Me" by Dave Matthews Band. That is like one of the first songs I remember hearing, thinking, I love this.
Yeah.
Just there was something about the way it was played, something about his voice that just grabbed me. The band Hammock, which you should listen to, all of their music, is still one of my favorite bands ever. Like that, there would be a Desert Island Disc, and I like them mainly because the lead singer was in a band that I liked. So, but like, I liked that band initially because I was told that's the Christian version of Nirvana. Because, you know, when you're an evangelical kid and you only listen to Christian music, you want to try alternatives to the music that your friends are listening to. But I started to like their music apart from that. And so, yeah, I rambled.
Oh, that's good.
But I was thinking about that.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of the interests. Yeah, I was just trying to think that through. I mean,
Is that a good question?
It is a great
Okay,
question, but now I'm trying to think through it. You're trying to think through how many things you're like, as a younger person, you love, and then influences can come in and kind of
say either this is good or this is
bad.
Right.
Yeah. So being an individual and what naturally sparks that sense of wonder and beauty, and you can be well, I started drinking coffee in high school. My parents didn't really drink coffee, but I just fell in love with coffee. And so,
Okay.
and I don't, so I don't really know. I don't know. I just,
and it's not to say that if you were influenced to like something that's wrong.
right,
I think
right.
I think the opposite extreme is really true, that we can get kind of stuck in our own tastes and not step outside of our comfort zones a little bit.
Right.
You know? Like country music was something I still don't love. Personally prefer country music. Nothing wrong with it. Okay. But having learned to play, like having to cover some of those songs, like learning to cover Johnny Cash, I've grown to appreciate it more. Or if one of our pastors really likes Willie Nelson. So, I've grown to appreciate Willie Nelson because of that. And so that's helped me grow as an artist.
Yeah. Well, and I think that I started to love cooking when I was growing up, and my mom hated cooking. So it was like something that I really enjoyed, but not because she enjoyed it. So that is a very good question to think through, though.
Yeah.
Or, what are things that I guess beauty is the word we're using, but the things that you find beautiful, that maybe you let go of because somebody told you it was stupid or that you shouldn't or.
Oh. Okay, and I think I told this story, but so
Frosted Tips.
no, that was because the lead guitarist of Jars of Clay had it. That is why I got into that back in the 90s.
Love Dan Hasselton, by the way.
Oh man, I just still love that band. But when U2 put out their new-ish record.
Oh, U2.
U2.
I thought you said YouTube.
U2. Not YouTube.
U2.
Put out their newest record, and we were listening to it, and I think I did. I had you were there. I had a moment where I was weeping, and it was like I was really overcome because I was hearing their lyrics, and I was also feeling at the same time, I was like, there was at some point along the way where I decided it wasn't cool for me to like this band anymore.
Have you apologized to Bono?
I'm sorry, Bono.
And the gang.
And the rest of yous. But I was like, well, who told me that? You know? So yeah.
Well, and I don't know, at some point when I was younger, I suddenly started loving red hair. Mm-hmm. It was just like, so, and I just totally always, it's about time to get a little root touch up here.
Yeah, you look great. Well, so I mean, I think it's important.
Not perfect.
It's important for us to recognize that we need to be influenced. I think we need to grow, and I think we need to broaden our tastes, but we also need to do that without losing our own individual sense of what we're drawn to naturally.
Right. And then I think, every culture and subculture has its own issues. But every culture kind of has what is the standard of beauty in their culture. And so sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. So really assessing. I know that being thin for so long, being skinny has been like the thing in Western culture, or one of the things, and it totally affects men and women. And so looking at the issues with all that, great book to read too on the body, the dysfunctions that we can tend to have about bodies, is The Body Project. It's a good read. So yeah, good topic. Good. Man, now I'm just.
We're talking about this whole idea of like what influences our standards of beauty, our natural standard of beauty.
If you're boozy, then it can influence
but that
it.
can influence it too. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Or in our peer groups can do that as well. But like thinking about creativity, how does like other people's standards of beauty or their perceived standard of beauty affect our creativity?
It can keep us from sharing the things we create until it's at a level of perfection or our perceived perfection. So then we can compare, and so then we just shut down because we're like, well, I can never be that good, or I'm not like that thing, or so I think that it can be. But but then on the flip side, looking at beautiful things that people have created can also be inspiring. So
absolutely, they can be fuel, or they can be like
right.
They can be something that can cause paralysis. Yeah, one of the things I've been learning with songwriting is that I have to view my songs as children.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and to think about it in terms of if my standard of beauty is just adulthood with my work, there's a whole process that we don't expect kids to come out of the womb in a fully formed business suit knowing tax code. You know what I mean? They grow into that, and part of parenting is helping a kid get to that place of maturity. And as an artist, part of my responsibility is, one, recognizing that, okay, if I've written a song, to accept the fact that, okay, it's probably not perfect. There's probably a lot of things about it that need to grow, need to develop, need to shed and editing, basically. That I need to love my songs in the inception form, but to recognize that this inception form is not the end thing. and then to love it into the maturity, and that takes time. So learning to appreciate the beauty of each stage of creativity that you're at.
That's good.
So
That's good.
yeah, I'm not good at it yet, but I'm trying. I'm trying. I wrote a song like a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, I either love this or I hate this. I don't know yet. So yeah.
That's good.
But that's something I've been thinking about with beauty and creativity. And the other thing is like when you're creating, other writers will tell you this: turn the editor off in your head. Just don't edit while you're creating. It's counterproductive. It doesn't work.
So understand the phases of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So
And appreciate them. Because like, I think I trick myself into thinking at times that like, because I don't like the editing phase of anything.
I don't either. Yeah.
Strangely, editing and publishing, two things I don't like.
So you and I we like the beginning.
I love the beginning, and I love the first draft end of something.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, but to learn to love learning to love each season.
That's good.
So yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Got anything else to say about beauty other than the fact that you're beautiful, and I would have voted for you to win the beauty pageant, Sandy Day.
Oh no, I blanked. I got so overwhelmed by your. No. Well, it's just such a. There's more to think about it than like even I was realizing before we talked about it. So, I think that some great creative acts would be to kind of like how we talked about with joy, just really hunting for beauty, but not necessarily what we can see with our eyes, but where did you experience kindness? Where did you experience wonder? It can be so much more than what we're seeing with our eyes.
Yeah.
So I think just always looking for beauty, because there's a lot of ucky out there, but there's beauty.
A lot of what?
Ucky.
I like that.
There's a lot of ucky, but so creating something based on that why can't I say?
Dostoevsky.
You make it look so easy. Use beauty will save the world. That's kind of, you could create something with that phrase. So
I like it.
Yeah.
So a couple things that I mentioned this in our last episode. Did I say the word right? Because
you did a blend of ep and app. Okay. It was like an episode.
Yeah. Episode. That's all right. I can still say Dostoevsky, so that's okay.
Luck.
I think there's a lot of beauty in our imagination, and I am realizing more and more, and I talked about this a little bit last week, that sometimes my screen time and how much I watch visually or take in can hijack my imagination. And so like a good practice would be, let's say, read a book that hasn't been made into a TV show or a movie. Okay, and give your imagination time to image and flesh out what the characters look like and all of those things. Learn to cultivate your own imagination. Another thing, write down your dreams as you remember them. I've been having some really trippy dreams lately, so, write down those dreams, because like there's some beautiful stuff that shows up, and there's some terrifying stuff that shows up in dreams too. But just doing those two things, I think, are great ways to kind of like recognize the beauty that's coming out of you, that's in your mind, that's kind of been placed in you by God. And so check it out.
And I think just journaling some things about like, when do you feel beautiful? When do you feel ugly? And just...
When I haven't shaved my head in 3 days.
Aww.
I like it to be shiny. I want the sun to see its reflection in my head.
But to really identify, the parts of you that really are beautiful, and to affirm that is important. So
yeah,
because you're so beautiful.
So the song that we're gonna do is an instrumental piece.
Oh, yeah.
That
I forgot. No, I'm like, oh, yeah.
we released it as a demo. I don't think we've done it live. Maybe we have. I don't know. But we're gonna do it again. It's called Beauty, or is it Beauty Rises? What do you call it? It's your song, so
I think I've referred to it as Beauty Rising, but
Okay, then that's what
it
it's
doesn't
called.
have to be. It can be flexible.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we're gonna call it.
A
All
little
right.
instrumental, yeah.
Yeah, a little instrumental. So until then, keep creating. We love you, and we'll see you soon.